Okay, hello guys. Thank you for coming. Today is ICEHOUSE GeekTalk, and I'll be your host today. First of all, we are going to have a presentation from our design team. Let me introduce you to the first to the team. First, we have Monica. Hello, Monica. Are you here? Okay, so Monica is graduated from Universitas 11 Maret from a design and communication visual degree. And before joining ICEHOUSE last year, she worked for WellPay for 1 year and a half month, 1.5 year. And then in ICEHOUSE, she is working for BCA Mobile. Sorry, I thought this was intentional. BCA Mobile, My BCA, and Prodia and Welma, and also ICEHOUSE website. And next speaker is also the design team, a new additional team, Rafika, that joined ICEHOUSE this year. She graduated from Universitas Gadjah Mada for information and technology degree, and also a master degree that from Eindhoven University of Technology, was it? And before joining ICEHOUSE, she's working in a design agency in Singapore for 1.5 year. 1.5 year, and now she's joining us to join and assisting in UX in Welma and Prodia. And the last speaker is Raga. Currently, he's working in BC, and previously he was also working for BCA, My BCA, Epos, Welma, and Berta, and also Ciptadana, if you guys know. So Raga is our longest serving designer. She's already 3.5 years in ICEHOUSE. So unlike our Monica and Rafika, actually Raga is not pursuing any in different degree, like not a design visual team or a bachelor degree in engineering degree, but he's actually pursuing a degree in international relations. Well, but she's like more an exploring, more exploring journey to design. So she switched the career to the design team before joining ICEHOUSE. So we can continue next. Okay, so if you guys have any question, you can put your questions in slido.com. Put your the hashtag IH design, and then you can put your questions in there. So the topic that we are going to cover is you can next the design dilemma, design guideline from foundation, component, color and screen, and naming convention. Okay, so I will hand over to the first speaker today is Rafika, right? So the stage is yours. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. We as a designer, we want to make like this session like interactive. So we start with a quiz. We did this when we present the design team to internship. Maybe one of you, some of you already know. This is we bring this because we want to share to you guys about designer's dilemma before we go to the guideline that we made. We want to share the challenge that we face, which is like we always in doubt in designing, and then how we deal with it. So why dilemma? Because everyone has their own opinion, all of you guys as well, which is good because design should be intuitive. All of you guys as a user should have an instant in a click understanding about the design, right? So the question is which design is better between these two screens? So without any context, is just a CTA to book a hotel. Can anyone raise a hand or something? or Nathan, which is in front of me.
On the chat.
Just
Answer.
unmute.
On the chat pic, there's a lot of.
Oh, jangan chat dong.
Oh, okay, in chat. Mau in- we want to hear like one of because it's
Live.
Yeah, okay, left.
why
Because I want to read a lot of like description and a lot of info. I don't like there's a sticky button in the bottom that I might misclick it.
okay, that's a very valid point. So users, like mostly all of the human, us read from top to bottom. So book hotel is button is the one that we read first, and there is also like we reduce the chance of misclick the button in the left design. Maybe any other opinion? Yeah,
The right one.
why? Mbak Elsha?
Yeah, because like first because like it's kind of like easy to access. The accessibility, for example, when your phone is kind of like for example, like an iPhone Pro Max, right? It's a big screen, so it's kind of like need another hand to reach that top button. Like if the button is on the top, so if at the bottom, like you already make an choosing your hotel and everything, and then just click it from the bottom, like is closer to the thumb.
Yeah, that's also true, and that's a very valid point. And we have okay, so both of the design are implemented, right? You can see the CTA at the top right in BCA, maybe BCA mobile. You can also see like the right design in I might say commonly in most of the current application, like Tokopedia, Traveloka, Grab, and we also have like another example in the next session. And there is also scientific proof behind this. It's called Fitts law, that we have to make the target bigger and near to the your thumb. So yeah, very interesting discussion. Let us try once more. So next, what do you guys think?
We have 40 people.
Yeah, we have 40 people. We don't unmute everyone, kan Mbak Abi? No.
Everyone can unmute themselves when they want to speak.
It's depend, but I love left more than the right one.
Thank you, Kara.
Thank you, Kara.
In case someone doesn't know what purple or black means, I think using color it's better. But for some people that colorblind, I think left is worse than the right one.
Wow. Yeah, we all like give a round of applause for you, because that's exactly the reason. So of course the left, you give all the options in that font, so you know all the colors available, all the capacity available, but it's not accessible for people with colorblind. So the best option might be the left one, but we need more work in UI, like maybe give all the labels and then arrange the arrangement and blah blah blah, arrange the button. But yeah, so that's our point is design is subjective, and everybody has opinion. Yeah, everybody has opinion, which is logical because design is intuitive, but there is a standard that we can agree on in each design. First, I will talk about human cognitive. So we all, as a human, we have limited attention, limited memory, and limited cognitive load, right? We are not like superpower human. So this is one example how design can accommodate that. So this is a HelloDoc app, you can see your recent doctor in the top of the screen, because we know that human memory is limited. It's always better to recognize than recall, which means we give the context, give the options. It's better than having the users have to memorize, oh, which doctor that I talked to before. And also we have another example. Sorry if this is one of your like alma mater, but this is the example of a screen which too many information, which is what we designers call as information overload. And as a human, we cannot process all. We cannot categorize. We cannot dismiss others, and we cannot focus. This is so users are having hard time in that. That's one, human cognitive capability. The next is visual ability. Can anyone see this tab? Can anyone read? I don't think so, or I might say this is not easy enough to read because it has a very poor contrast, and we can also check it in like one of design standard called contrast guideline. We can check it has a bad result in contrast. Next, human physical ability. This is what we discussed before. We have to consider how our fingers like arranged and how we hold a phone. And bottom sheet is one of the invention for our from word-based designer. It replaced the older pop-up in the center of the screen. Why? Because it's easier to access. Okay. So we have to consider that, like human cognition, human ability in visual, ability in physical. But as a designer, where we refer to first, it's Fitts law that I already mentioned before, and it basically says that users movement time, like user like time to go to a certain target. For example, here is CTA. It depends on the distance and also the size. I cannot, the size of the target itself. I can like bring you to, we can simulate together this law. Oh ya, terus new share. Yeah, this one, right? Okay. To simulate this law, let's first make the target. So we have to click the circle, and it has this size and like this distance. And I try to click. You can try this as well by yourself to like really prove this law. Okay, and then the movement time and the others are saved here, and I'll make another data set using Fitts law. Like, let's say we believe in Fitts law, we make it more near and like more big, the target, and then we can try. Right? Okay, that's enough. Here, we can see the time I need. In the first trial, I need like significantly, I would say, more time to reach the target. And also here, this is the path that I should use a straight path, right, to move there, because that's the most efficient way to move to the target. But in the first trial, that's a lot of missed. So that's one proof that we have to use Fitts law, so make a target like nearer and bigger. Okay, right. And the second is we refer to, so the in creating this guideline and in design in everyday, we also refer to industry standard. So iOS has interface guideline, Google has material design, and we also have So International Organization of Standardization about ergonomics and interface. And also we have web accessibility guideline. Last but not least, so this is what I already mentioned before, we also should consider what other app does. Because why? There's a famous quote in a pioneer in UX design says that users spend most of their time in other sites than your sites. That's why user prefer to use app the same way how they use the other app. This is the example of product detail page. They all did the same thing. So this is Grab, this is Donut app, Magnolia, and Etsy. They have the hero image and then the details, and they put the CTE button at the bottom for easy access. So that's designer's dilemma. And to address that, we made a design guideline. Why? I'll refer to my colleague. Pak Raga.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Okay, I wanna tell you why we create this design guideline. So this one is because the information overload, like we knew we have human interface guideline from iOS and material design. It's only it's from Android and also the other design system. And and also like a lot of tips and tricks on the medium about how to designing the UI and UX. And we try to collecting the information and have our standard, so we knew which way when we deciding for a guide. And also to address our dilemma, like first time Vika present to you guys, Kara can choose the design on the left, and another one on the right is also right. Yeah, so I think it's sometimes it's not feel so good when our design is have a feedback, but or not feedback, that client or another team member asking why the design is like this, and we don't have a valid reason. So I think if we have a standard and foundation when we designing, it will be easier to us to give a reason why the design is like this. And also we want to set the quality standard of our design. So we hope each of ICEHOUSE designer have a same quality standard when we designing. And this is the last why we created. We want to help the BA team to estimate story point. We hope this design guideline can help you guys, BA team, because we have a sample for screen. So yeah, we can sing up later. So I hope it will help our product team. And this is our design guideline 1.0. Right now we only have a design foundation, the component, and screen sample, and the color, and naming. It's for naming your design screen file, and also the reference for each component. And this design guideline is, I think this is gonna be quite long project because we will update it if we have a new information and also a new reference for design. Okay, right now I'm gonna show you the design guideline. Oh, it changed, yeah. Yeah, we have a foundation when we designing. So the first one is the typography. Yeah, sometimes we don't want to end up with a lot of font size and type. So we just create the guideline. This is the possibility of the typography for mobile that we can use when we designing. It's like limited the option, but it will help you when you start designing. We also put the sample, like the large page title here. We put the sample here. It's gonna be look like this. And if you wanna use the mirror on your phone, you can show it using the screen. We also put sample for any element of text here, large page title, body, the secondary text, and etc. We put all the sample here, and also the this is the body text. You can use the regular. This is the font size. Also the line height. The line height means the distance between the line, and also the letter spacing, the space between each letter. Yeah, we have a button also, text input, and all of it for the foundation about typography. We also made the spacing. Yeah, so when we start designing, we know the spacing, which spacing we gonna use. We can use the 16 padding or 20 or 24, and I think it's gonna be works for any device. Is it Android or iOS? So we have to just have to choose, and it depends on which app that we're gonna build. Maybe if the data is a lot of data or a lot of text, we can use the small one, and for small design. But if you wanna more clean design, you can use the 24 padding here. But this is just a suggestion. So, and this column will help you when you start designing. Also, we have the vertical rhythm here. We use the 4 pixel baseline for spacing the element vertically. And we also have the dividers that when you have to use it, you can use only white space or solid line or the bigger line. This is used for the section, for the item, and you also can use the background color to divide the item or the section. So here, this one, we try to create the decision tree, because sometimes we have a dilemma when BA give our requirement. Hey, there's a case that user need to choose blah 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 blah. Yeah, which selection control that we can use? Is it gonna be drop down or anything? We try to break down the using this decision tree, so it will guide us which design component that we gonna use. We can use this single selection here, or radio button, or this multi-section. We can use chips or check mark. And we also put the hierarchy, the example on hierarchy on UI design. We can use scale or by color or by depth, and we put also the sample here, the scale. You will see the bigger component first, and also the color. You will be focusing on this CTA because the color is emphasized, and the depth is this this bottom sheet is in front of the screen, so you will focus on this bottom sheet, not the screen behind. Also, right now, we have the law of UX, the law of proximity for arranging the element. This is if you want to know about law of proximity. We can use it when we designing the tab and the cards specifically. You can differentiate the element from each card because this card have a distance. And last one is the law of common region. You will notice the group of this element because we have the line to divide it, and also the box. It makes easier when you scan the screen and know, oh, this one is related to this one, and this action is related to this action, and also this avatar. And this one is still in progress, like I told you. This is the 1.0, so it's still continue. We will update this guideline. And also we have a component. Yeah, this is the guide when we wanna create. Example is the app bar. We wanna put what's inside the app bar. App bar contain this 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the possibility. The style it's gonna be look like this, and we put the reference that this is on the iOS, this is on the Xiaomi, this is on the Samsung, this is for One UI. Yeah. So we can create the app bar based on our needs and also the client style, the brand style. Also, we have a button here, same structure, what's inside, and the style for the button, and the reference, the text input, and the bottom navigation. We have a lot of bottom navigation possibility here. And last one, no, this is the last one. And some tips for you using text on image. There's a possibility to use text on image. Yeah, I think that's the last. Yeah. Okay, I will hand over this to Monica. Oh no, Rafika, sorry.
In a registration or sign up screen, you have to define the value proposition. Sign up to see more, or like sign up to get a discount or something like that. Why? Because generally users are not willing to sign up until they see the value. So like just give a message that crisp and sharp, but like your proposition. And here, ask only for the minimum amount of information. So this is the best practice. Maybe you have experience login that have to give your gender, date of birth, and location, and blah blah blah. But the guide, our suggestion here is just only ask the minimum information. Why? Because it's painful already, right? If they want to get more benefits by providing information, they should be able to do it by editing their profile later. And offer other alternative of registration by using social login, because it can make the process like more quickly, and user will use the much rehearsed password. They don't have to create like another password and then forget and chaos. And this is the last rules: separate login and registration. So if you can see here, this is the registration screen, but you also have the login button, and you direct to like another login screen. Why? Because it's easy to mess up your register or login. So you should pair the word not sign in with sign up, but log in with sign up, or sign in with register, like to make the confusions, like to reduce the confusion. and users have to be able to flip the case in case they are like reach this section by I think this is the like very good practice that we should apply more in our project is disclose password constraints upfront. So what password must include? Why? Yeah, just error prevention and yeah, make people life easier. And how? We have to state the requirements and make sure the user can see it. As you can see here, there are like many ways to do it. You can have pop up like you can put it here, you can put it here. So it depends on each project, but make sure to put the like regulation upfront. Make the password visible. This is also important so users can review. Just provide I button. It's common already. And do not repeat fields. Yeah, like password and then confirm password, because in a user perspective, maybe like in technical or like security perspective is different, but in user perspective, it's twice as painful because you have to type twice. How to confirm a password? Just give the I button so they can see the password by typing. Yeah, so that's our guideline for creating password. The last screen is login. Login. This is more or less like some of the rules I already explained. So provide alternative method of login. We can also use like fingerprint biometric. For now, you can use social media. Here, like you can use your fingerprint or use password or use fingerprint, yeah, something like that. Also provide an I button. Provide the remember email or phone number, because it makes the process more easier and efficient. And this is important that sometimes we forgot, include the forgot password, because it's really mandatory and a must to provide recovery. We cannot provide like the dead end to the user.
So in interface design, there is a lot of colors to use, right? And many people believe that choosing colors for the UI, it depends on taste and sense of beauty from designers. But no, we have guideline here. The first one is primary color. Basically comes from client, and one or two maximum is ideal, and usually made for header. And sixth one is accent color or secondary color. Basically used to make UI is stand out and emphasize the action and highlight the information for such as call to action, floating button, progress bar, and etc. The accent color should be around 10% of the primary color. This is how to determine accent color. This P stands for your primary or base color, and the left side and the right side is accent color. And you can also use the complementary color for your accent color. I think it's implemented on the Traveloka. You can see the CTA has orange, but their primary color is blue, right? Okay. Next one is neutral color. This is made for text and line, icon, and over background. Basically, the color is white, black, and shades of gray. This is how to apply a dark text on the right background. This is for high emphasis. Applies for label, title, and header. we don't use 0, 0, 0, 0
Yeah.
because it's to contrast with the background. So for reduce that, we use like 3, 3, 3 or 2, 2, 2. Okay. For the medium emphasize, we use the dark gray. Applies for input value on body text. And this is the low emphasize for used for disable and placeholder and disable text. Next one is semantic color. So what is semantic color? Semantic color means denote standard value state which can be communicate purpose. They help user convey a message. For example, green has a positive connotation. We use green for convey success, confirm information, or positive things. And the red color used for error, danger, and wrong. Okay, the green I believe I have explained the example for that. And for yellow, it's used for warning, caution, and alert. And this is blue for information. And this is how error message implement on the screen. We have example from Gojek to apply promo code. They use red. And then we have example from Welma. For yellow, we use the alert to explain, are you sure want to live or not in the screen? Okay, next one, we have color contrast. So why color contrast matters? Because it affects for some people ability to perceive the information. Okay, steps for color contrast. The dark colors should be paired with the light colors. And the light colors should be paired with the dark color. In this guideline, we use the tools called contrast ratio to ensure that our design has a good contrast or not. Okay, I will demo. This is how the tools work. For that, you can type the color name or the hex code. For example, okay, for example, background is yellow. And the text color is white. See the result. This is the red, means well, you cannot use this color for your design. And what about blue with and white? This sign green can inform the result is good. Okay. Hang on. Jadi ini. Okay. Sorry. Okay, Okay, I think that's it for the color contrast demo. And this is also the example, do's and don'ts. The last one is color contribution. We have golden rules, like 60% for your neutral color, and 30% for your primary color, and 10% for your accent color. Okay, so next one is naming convention. Okay, naming convention.
Slide.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry. We have naming convention. So every designer has different naming style, right? And this is aims to have the same standard. And this is also helps the stakeholder to find the screen on the Zeppelin. Maybe it will help BA, QA, and engineer. First one is screen. We have structure here. Code is unique per screen, like portfolio 1.1 is code, and portfolio is epic. Detail is feature, and Puritan is variation. Or on Mansec, I guess you have a version or theme for dark and light mode. You can add for the screen. You cannot use this example, portfolio 1 or portfolio 2, because it is not describe anything. Second one is component. We have structure here, category, type, and variation, and state. For example, we have a button as a category, and icon text here, part of type. This is the way designer do for the component, naming for component, I mean. And you cannot do this bad example because it's hard to find the component on the Figma or other tools. This is the example from Figma. We have a variation from button. This is size, large size, medium and small. And also we have a type, fill, outline with fill, and just outline. And the state is normal and disabled. Okay, for colors, we have color name and tone. This is the value is determined. And this is your base color. You can state is as a primary slash 100. And for the light color, you can use below 100. And for the darker one, you can use above 100. You cannot use the example like purple 3 or black slash primary. And next one is text. We have size and semantic. Semantic means text hierarchy, and this is used when to use this text. For example, just small slash paragraph, and then large slash h2 slash modal header. You can see the example from Figma here, and avoid you get naming like paragraph slash black one, because this is not describing anything. Okay, next one. This is the resource that we got and we built for this design guideline. Okay. I think that's it for this presentation. Back to Farhan, Farhas.
Okay, thank you, Rafika, Monica, and Raga.